Today I'm showing you tips on how to get your bar cart ready for the holidays. Not just what you need to make it pretty, but what you need to make it practical for hosting and entertaining guests this season as well.
So when it comes to Christmas decorating my bar cart for the holidays is a must. I want to give it a festive touch. You can see I've started some of my Christmas decorating, but this is a spot that guests will be spending time, so I want to be sure that it gets the same attention that the rest of the house does. So it's time for me to start taking down my fall decor and get ready for Christmas. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to style your bar cart for Christmas. And I'm also, stick with me because later on in the video, I'll give you tips for how to stock your bar for the holidays. So if you're ready, let's go. So now it's time to clean the bar cart. This is just a mixture of vinegar and water because, you know, it's mirrored. I am in love with this bar cart because, well, for a few reasons. One, it definitely matches my decor, right? With the gold, I feel like it goes with everything. But it's also so practical because it's now giving me more counter space, especially when you're hosting and entertaining. You don't have to just use it for a bar. We used it in the fall. We had a outdoor campfire, and so we set up a s'mores bar on the bar cart and brought it outside. So if you've been thinking about getting yourself a bar cart, I highly recommend it. It's such a worthwhile investment. It's such a versatile piece, and especially if you're entertaining, I mean, it can be many different things. Now, since we're using it as a bar cart, the first things we're gonna need is some booze. So the alcohol that you pick is totally up to you. I mean, go with what you think guests are going to drink. I like to start with a couple of different options. So here I'm going with a spiced rum. Like, this is the time of year, right? We're doing spiced eggnogs and maybe some rum punches. And then some vodka. I feel like, you know, vodka has lots of different options that you could make with vodka. I'm gonna add a few more, but my rule of thumb when it comes to hosting, and the reason why I have a bar cart set up, is that I will serve the first drink as the host, and then guests can help themselves. So they can really mix up what they like, and then it frees me up to actually mingle and enjoy my time with guests, instead of spending my time being the bartender.
Here we have our spirits for our bar cart. I've got vodka, we've got gin, we've got some spiced rum, a little bit of whiskey, and then I always like to add a couple of surprise elements. So this screwball peanut butter whiskey, I made a cocktail using that, so I'll link that for you to check that out. It was delicious. And then I recently discovered this Di Serono Velvet. So next week I'll be making a cocktail with that. But I just like how festive those all look on the bar cart. And now we can move on to the next step.
You want to know a secret? I got all my decanters, I've got a few more than this, all at a secondhand store. So thrift stores and secondhand stores, and they usually cost less than $5. So next up we have glassware. Now these Mikasa stemless wine glasses I use all the time because you can use them for wine, but they're even great for mixing up mixed drink. So we've got glasses here that double for wine or for mixed drink. So anytime you've got something that does double duty and save you space, that's a winner in my books. So next up is somewhere to put ice. So this little crystal ice bucket is perfect for the ice so that guests can add ice to their drink, and it's available there. And then this silver one I'm gonna put on the bottom. I'm not sure if you can see it there, but I'll show you after. So that when I'm putting, maybe there's champagne or there's some white wine or rosé or something that needs to be chilled, then I've got a spot for that too.
Next up, we need some bar essentials, like a shaker, a strainer, a jigger for measuring, and of course, a corkscrew.
Make hosting easy for yourself. By putting those bar essentials on your bar well in advance of your party, you know that you have everything you need and your guests will have everything they need. So inevitably, when somebody's looking for a corkscrew or for a shaker, you don't have to go digging through the kitchen to try to find it. It's already on your bar cart.
The bottom of the bar cart is where I store extra glassware and the mix, and like we saw, the big silver bucket for storing wine.
So I like to add some fun cocktail napkins and of course some festive stir sticks and straws to the bar cart. just because it adds a little bit of holiday pizzazz. And I feel that these cocktail napkins, now there's so many different kinds available now, but a cocktail napkin is a really inexpensive way to add some color and add your holiday theme to your bar cart.
I also like to add a festive bar sign. This is one of those instant downloadable printable bar signs. I'll put a link for you in the description below.
So far, the bar cart is looking good. It's time to add a few finishing touches to make it just a little bit extra. I like to hang some garland and some gold beads and some berries to add a little bit of sparkle. But I would say stay away from anything too sparkly. We don't want those sparkles to end up in everyone's drink.
So there you have it. The bar cart is decorated and is ready to greet guests and make spirits bright. Now, I promised you that I would share with you some tips on stocking your bar for the holidays. I'm going to pour myself a drink and then I'm going to do exactly that. Okay, so I've got myself a Di Serono Velvet. You guys, if you like amaretto, this is like a really creamy version of that. But I'm not going to share too much about it because next week I'm going to be showing you how to make a holiday cookie cocktail using this. But suffice it to say, it's good just on the rocks too. So let's talk about the home bar and setting up a home bar. If you are new to it and you're not quite sure where to start, because it can be expensive to like buy all the different types of alcohol, I would say choose one or two spirits that you and your guests are going to enjoy. So make sure it's something that you enjoy as well, just because then you'll be more familiar with it and you'll kind of know what to maybe serve with it. So I would start there. If you're not sure what guests are going to enjoy, you're safe to go with some wine and some beer. So think about maybe picking a red and a white and perhaps a couple different types of beer. And then that's a pretty safe bet that you've covered your bases with that. The other really cool thing that you can do, because nowadays there's so many of these single serve beverages, so it's all in a container and there's all different flavors and all different types, whether it's vodka based, gin based, seltzers, Caesars, Bloody Marys in a can. Like, these single serve things are a really cool thing if you're not sure what to serve, and it makes hosting easy. So I would think about, for the holidays, maybe get a really pretty like big tin or a big bucket, fill that with ice, and then you can put a bunch of these individual serving cans in that and serve that for the holidays. Plus, it's super easy to do, so it cuts down on all your hosting and setup. All you gotta do is make sure you've got the ice and put your cans in there.
Okay, so here's a Joyful Hostess tip. I like to prepare a signature cocktail. I add that to the bar so that it makes it a little bit more festive and it's something that goes with the theme of whatever party that I'm doing. So when you're hosting, it also cuts down on the alcohol that you need to buy, because if you're doing a signature drink and then perhaps you're offering red and white wine, in addition, you don't have to fully stock the bar with all the different kinds of alcohol. The other nice thing I like to do is, if we're hosting something with mixed company, and by that I mean it will be kids and also adults, is to prepare a punch that everybody can drink, so there's no alcohol in the punch, and then perhaps serving the rum or the vodka, having that available on the side, so that if adults want to mix up a more adult beverage, they can do that. So if you're looking for a recipe for maybe a big batch cocktail, I made a really delicious red sangria. I will put the link here somewhere so that you can check that out and let me know what you think of that. The other tip I have for you is to set up the bar cart ahead of time. So ideally you could set the bar cart up a couple of days ahead of time, and then all you have to do is stock it actually with ice and maybe the mix, if the mix has to stay cold. But yeah, it's one less thing to do the big day, and also it will really quickly point out to you if you're missing something. So I know I've fallen victim to this before, where I think that we have vodka or something, and then I go to take the bottle and put it on the bar cart and I realize we have like this much left. So then I'm running to the store at the last minute. So you do yourself a favor and set that bar cart up in advance. Okay, another tip when it comes to your bar cart, the location is key. So you saw that bar cart, you can wheel it around just about anywhere, and you want to be sure that you're separating your bar or your beverage area from your food area, because that just encourages people to mingle and mix, and people don't really become cemented in one spot. And it also helps to avoid that cluster. You know that cluster I'm talking about in the kitchen? Everybody's crowded around the island or in the kitchen. So setting up the bar cart
in separate locations just discourages people from just being in one place. You can kind of spread people throughout the house. So there you have it. There are my bar cart styling tips and how to get the cart ready for Christmas. Let me know in the comments below what you include in your bar cart this time of year. Maybe there's like a special cocktail or there's a special spirit. Let me know. I'm interested in hearing. And as always, if you liked what you saw, if you're into hosting and entertaining, or you just want to get more confident with your hosting and entertaining, be sure to hit like and subscribe because I share videos every Friday to help make you a more confident hostess. And we're talking everything from recipes to DIYs to tips and tricks. So until next time, happy hosting and may all your hours be happy ones. Cheers!